at 8. He's got the snap. He's back. He's back in the pocket. He's going to roll around to the right. He's rolling and firing towards the end zone. Touchdown!
Well, those are happier times for Johnny Manziel, now in all sorts of trouble. Former Heisman Trophy winner was told by the Cleveland Browns, thanks but no thanks. Jim Ryan is covering this story. Good morning, Jim Ryan in Dallas with ABC News. Jim, thanks.
Good morning. Yeah, McGraw, it goes well beyond the football field now at this point, of course. It all goes back to an incident that happened in January, maybe even before that if you consider his sort of party boy reputation. But in January, it sort of got serious when he was accused of striking his then-girlfriend, Colleen Howley, hitting her so hard, she said initially, that he punctured her eardrum. She eventually tried to drop that case altogether, but by then the police had been investigating it. They turned it over to the DA's office. The DA's office handed it to a grand jury, and today we're expected to hear that he has been indicted on a charge of family violence.
Has his camp said anything?
He has not. Manziel hasn't said anything. His attorneys haven't said anything. Every agent that he's had has sort of bailed out on him. As you know, they've said that he's just too big a risk, and if he doesn't get his act together and clean it up, then they don't want anything to do with him. And now he's also lost a lot of endorsement deals. He's lost his job with the Cleveland Browns. Sort of left twisting in the wind. Yeah,
when Drew Rosenhaus says he can't help you, you've sort of reached the bottom of the barrel. There's a chance he could go to jail over this.
Yeah, it could be punishable by a 1-year jail term. I suspect that would not be the case. State jail, it's a different thing from state prison here in Texas. But I think more likely the scenario would have him doing some community service, maybe trying it again to get clean. You know, he's been through rehab, or his parents were trying to get him into rehab, and it just didn't work. And you keep seeing pictures of him on TMZ or in the tabloids out partying again. Is involved in a traffic accident recently, or was a passenger in a traffic accident, and is accused also of doing thousands of dollars of damage to his home in Los Angeles.
What are his prospects for getting signed by an NFL team?
Not good at this point. If you heard Rosenhaus and others discussing it, I think the chances that he gets another NFL job at this point are pretty slim, at least in the short-term future. Now, some teams, I understand the Denver Broncos were thinking about at least approaching him or his agent if he gets another one, assuming, though, that he cleans up his acts. I think it all hinges on how he behaves now. He's only 23 years old, McGraw, and he's got a long life ahead of him. So if he can clean things up and maybe turns it around, gets a better reputation and gets signed again somewhere.
Jim Ryan, I know this is an interesting story in that the violence and he's sort of out of control young athlete, but is anybody bringing up the fact that it's a football player, he's been knocked around a couple of times? Has anybody brought up the fact that he might be suffering from CTE?
Not that I've heard. That's an interesting possibility, though, isn't it? I mean, even as a quarterback, he had a stellar career in a high school, a multi-position player. And, and that may be a good defense. If he gets a lawyer, you may want to get in touch with him and suggest that.
Well, I mean, he was a Heisman Trophy winner, so clearly the guy went to class and did all the right things. And now he's sort of off the rails. I don't know if that's because he has all the money or because it's some type of lingering effect of CTE. I mean, who knows? But
well, yeah, you have to. It's a chicken and the egg kind of scenario. Did this sudden fame and money put him into trouble with substances, or was it substances that got him into trouble that we see now with criminal charges against him?
Yeah. Jim Ryan, ABC News correspondent. Jim, thanks for checking in.
See you, bro.
You got it. 7:55 here. Big